They told you worship was simple. But what if the highest mystery in the universe was never meant to be worshipped at all? There is a name whispered in the oldest dust-shrouded scrolls, a name older than Genesis, older than the very breath that moved upon the waters. That name is the monad, the one, the absolute. Gnostic mystics called it the source of all existence. Philosophers bent their minds trying to comprehend it. Ancient priests carved its symbol into stone and hid it from the masses. But here is what they never told you. Jesus never taught you to worship it. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you will shake the foundation of everything you were taught in Sunday school. This isn't blasphemy. This is the forgotten architecture of the gospel itself, hidden in plain sight, buried beneath 2,000 years of translation, tradition, and theological reconstruction. If you've ever felt that something was missing from the sermon, something ancient and true that no one dares to say out loud, you were right. If you're ready to see what was hidden, hit that like button now. Subscribe, because this channel exists to uncover the mysteries they never wanted you to find. Let's begin where most teachings end, at the edge of language itself. The monad is not a being. It is not a person. It is not even God, as you've been taught to understand God. In ancient Gnostic and Platonic thought, the monad is the ultimate abstraction, the ineffable singularity, the unnameable source from which all things emerge, but which itself cannot be known, touched, or worshipped. It has no face, no voice, no covenant. It simply was. And this is where the danger begins. When centuries after Christ, certain teachers began to blend this idea with Christianity. They whispered that the God of the Old Testament, the God who spoke to Moses, who walked in the garden, was not the true ultimate reality. They said he was a lesser God, a creator, yes, but not the monad. They claimed Jesus came to reveal the monad, to pull back the veil and show humanity that the God they worshipped was only a shadow of the true, unreachable absolute. But here is the revelation that changes everything. Jesus never said that, not once. Not in the Synoptic Gospels, not in John, not in the letters of Paul, nor in the writings preserved in the deserts of Egypt. Jesus did not come to reveal an impersonal, distant, unknowable philosophical concept. He came to reveal a Father. Let that sink in. A Father. Not an abstract principle. Not a cosmic void. Not a philosophical singularity that exists beyond relationship, beyond love, and beyond personality. A Father who knows your name, who counts the hairs on your head, who sent his Son, not to a concept, but to you. But the Gnostics couldn't accept that. To them, the material world was corrupt. The flesh was a prison. They taught that the God who created matter must therefore be flawed, inferior, or even evil. They called him the Demiurge, the architect of illusion. They taught that salvation meant escaping him, transcending the body, the world, and creation itself, to reunite with the silent, formless monad, an absolute that neither loves nor hates, because it cannot act. It was a beautiful philosophy, elegant, mystical, and it was a lie, because Jesus didn't teach escape. He taught resurrection. He didn't reject the body. He rose in the body. He didn't abandon creation. He redeemed it. He broke bread. He touched lepers. He wept at the grave of Lazarus. This is not the behavior of someone pointing you toward an untouchable monad. This is the behavior of God himself, entering the mess of the world to pull you out. Not by erasing your humanity, but by glorifying it. If this is resonating with you, don't just watch, engage. Like this video, share it, and subscribe, because we are about to go even deeper. Now, let's talk about what Jesus actually taught, especially at the Last Supper. There is a teaching so dangerous, so intimate, and so shattering to religious systems that it has been edited and reinterpreted for 2 millennia. At the table on the night he was betrayed, Jesus did something no prophet had ever done. He didn't point to a distant God. He didn't describe an unknowable force. He didn't offer a philosophy. He gave himself. This is my body. This is my blood. He made himself the bridge, the doorway, the covenant in flesh and wine. And then he said the words that still echo in the ancient Coptic and Ethiopian liturgies, I am in the Father, and the Father is in me, and through me, you are in him. Do you hear it? Not seek the monad, not transcend the Creator, but enter into union, relationship, and communion. This is not Gnosticism. This is incarnation. This is the scandal philosophers could never stomach, that the infinite became finite, so the finite could taste infinity, not by abandoning the body, but by being filled with the Spirit within it. The monad demands nothing, because it gives nothing. But the God of Jesus demands everything, because he gave everything first. Look at the ancient thread from Ethiopia, one of the oldest Christian civilizations on earth. Their tradition preserves a teaching the Gnostics would have hated. They call God Exahir, Lord of all. But they also call him Amlak, the God who is near. In the centuries after Christ, a war was fought with ink and scrolls. Scholars and mystics wrestled with one question: who is God? Is he the personal Father Jesus prayed to in Gethsemane? Or is he the impersonal monad the philosophers described? Some tried to merge the two. They created hierarchies where the monad sat at the top, unreachable, and beneath it layers of aeons and archons. They placed Jesus somewhere in that cosmic ladder as a messenger, a finger pointing to the moon. But Jesus never claimed to be a finger. He claimed to be the light. I am the way, the truth, and the life, not I will show you the way. I am. No one comes to the Father except through me, not through the monad, through him. This is the scandal. Jesus didn't decentralize worship. He centered it on himself. And that is what the Gnostics couldn't forgive. Because if Jesus is God incarnate, then matter matters. The body matters. History matters. Your choices matter. You can't escape into abstraction. You have to face the cross and the empty tomb. Why does any of this matter to you today? Because it changes everything. If God is the monad, distant and uninvolved, then prayer is pointless. Grace is a myth. You are on your own, climbing a ladder of enlightenment toward a truth that will never speak your name. But if God is Father, Sons, and Holy Spirit, personal and active, then prayer is a conversation. Relationship is the goal. Grace is the way. And you are not climbing. You are being lifted. The monad offers knowledge. Jesus offers love. The monad offers transcendence. Jesus offers transformation. The monad says, become nothing. Jesus says, become my child. Do you see the difference? One erases you, the other names you. Even in Gnostic texts like the Gospel of Truth, there are cracks in the system. It says, the Father reveals himself. He was known in the Son. Wait, the Father reveals himself in a person? That's not monad theology. That's John chapter 1. Even the mystics who tried to escape the personal God couldn't avoid him, because he breaks in, he speaks, he touches, he saves. So, who are you actually worshiping when you pray? Are you praying to a distant principle, or to the Father who already knows what you need? Jesus taught us, Our Father, He who art in heaven. Not, O ineffable one, but our Father. Intimate, relational, near. This is the prayer of a child who knows they are known. Not the chant of a philosopher, trying to dissolve into nothingness. The promise is this: when you pray to the Father in the name of the Son, you are heard not because you ascended, but because He descended. That is the gospel. Not enlightenment, but incarnation. So where does that leave us? With a choice. Will you worship the monad, the cold, silent, unreachable absolute that offers wisdom but no love, knowledge but no relationship? Or will you worship the God who bled, the God who wept, the God who said, "I will never leave you, nor forsake you"? The monad doesn't make promises because it doesn't care. It can't. It's not a person. But the God of Jesus makes promises, and He keeps them. I am with you always, even to the end of the age. That's not philosophy. That's presence. That's covenant. That's love. You were never meant to transcend your humanity. You were meant to discover that God became human so you could become like Him, not by escaping the flesh, but by being filled with His Spirit. The monad is not God, and Jesus never taught worship of it. He taught worship of the Father through the Son in the Spirit. One God, not an abstraction, but a family, and you are invited in. This is the mystery they tried to erase, the dangerous teaching hidden across 2,000 years. Not that God is far, but that He is near. Not that you must ascend, but that He descended. The next time someone tells you Jesus came to reveal the unknowable one, remember this: He called God Abba, Daddy, and He taught you to do the same. Maybe that is the most dangerous teaching of all, because it means God is here, and He knows your name. If this truth has pierced your heart, don't let it end here. Like this video. Subscribe to this channel, because we are going even deeper into the mysteries the world tried to bury. The next revelation is coming, and you were meant to be part of it. You were not made to worship the void. You were made to be filled with the fire. Now go and walk in the presence of the Father.